Hey everyone, and welcome to Hong Kong. Today's the 6th day of my trip here, and I plan on taking a ferry all the way over to Macau. So I've just had my breakfast, same as yesterday, a selection from the buffet area, mainly just rice and noodles, because you don't normally get those for breakfast back home. Then I had some eggs benedict and a bit of a fruit salad. Now I'm going to walk along the Avenue of the Stars all the way to the Star Ferry Terminal, cross over into Hong Kong Island, and then find the ferry terminal to take me to Macau. So I got my tickets for the Turbojet ferry all the way to Macau from a company called Klook. And I'd like to thank Klook for sponsoring today's episode. In fact, all the activities I'm going to do today in Macau I got through the Klook website. And the people at Klook have created a unique promo code for all my viewers and subscribers. If you just click on the link down in the description below, go to their website, and any tours, activities or hotels you book through that link, and use my special promo code TRAVELSHORTS, you'll get a 5% discount off your purchase. So walking along the Avenue of the Stars will take me about 10 minutes to get from my hotel over to the Star Ferry Pier. It's a great view for Victoria Harbour on the left hand side here, so the time goes really quickly when you're just looking at all the different buildings over across the water. I'm booked on the 9:30 ferry. I've left plenty of time to get there and do all the check-in procedures. It's only 8 o'clock now, so I think an hour and a half is plenty of time to just walk down here, get the Star Ferry over to Hong Kong Island, turn right and go to the Macau Ferry Terminal. So the Avenue of the Stars is a bit like the American Hollywood Walk of Fame. All the way along the water's edge, there's handprints from famous actors, actresses and directors of Hong Kong cinema. So from the Star Ferry Pier from here in Tsim Sha Tsui, they go to a few different locations. I want to go on the Central Line, which is this way. We can also go to Wan Chai as well, which is further to the left hand side of Victoria Harbour. I'm also choosing to go on the upper decks. Only costs literally a few pennies more, but you get a lot better view. And you can use your Oyster card to get on board. If you don't have one, you can just buy regular tickets from over here. So that costs 5 Hong Kong dollars, which roughly translates to about 55p. An absolute bargain. So I've taken my seat. It should be a short 5 to 10 minute journey across the water to go to Central Pier. So that was about a 10-minute trip. I've now got to go and find the Macau Ferry Terminal to be over in that direction. There's two main ferries that go to Macau. I chose to go on the Turbojet for no other reason is this was the best time that I wanted to leave in the morning. The other one is called the Ko Tai Ferry. If you're interested in going to Macau, there's basically 3 ways to get there. There's the ferry, which I'm doing now, which is also the most popular. In recent years, they've actually built a bridge, one of the largest bridges in the world, going all the way from here in Hong Kong, all the way over to Macau. You can get a bus to do that, but it takes slightly longer than the ferry, and I quite fancied the boat trip, if I'm honest. And then if you've got money to burn, you can always take a private helicopter, but I believe they start off for around $1,000 US. So this ferry trip today cost how much? From memory, about £17, 17 UK pounds each way, which isn't too bad considering it takes about an hour. I'm just going in economy, but there's a super class and also I think a VIP class. I don't need any of that. I just need a boat to get over to Macau. So I'm leaving at 9:30 this morning, due to come back this evening at 9 o'clock in the evening. And I think it's here. This is the International Macau Ferry Terminal that I need to get to. You can see the red boats. That's the turbojet. And the Cotai one is the blue one. So I guess I just walk through here, go up the walkway and enter the building over there. So it's 5 to 9. It's basically taken me an hour just to get here from the hotel, which is a lot longer than I expected. It still gives me 35 minutes to get on the ferry. Like I said earlier, it departs at 9:30 this morning, so that should be plenty of time. When you make your booking online, you can't actually pick your seat. What happens is once you go through the terminal building, they allocate you a seat, give you a little sticker, put it on your ticket, and that's your seat for the trip. So I'm going to ask for a window seat because I'd like to get a really good view. I believe window seats are a bit rougher because it's on the outside of the boat that goes like that. If you are prone to motion sickness, they recommend you try to sit in the center in the middle seat. Okay, I'm just about to enter the building now. Let's see what's here. So here's a plan of what's on every floor here in the building. I need to make my way to floor number 3 because that's where the ferry hall and ticket office is. So I'm assuming I go up on this escalator here. So like I said, I've ordered these tickets through Klook. Give me a QR code here. So I'm assuming I can just walk through with this. I don't have to pick up any additional tickets. So there's a ticket desk. If you haven't pre-booked your tickets, you just get them from here. I think you can also just, so you don't need to go to the desk, you can just get a self-service machine here and pay with your card. Okay, I just double confirmed before I go through that my paper ticket that I pre-booked is fine, and yes, no issues at all. Here is where I go, turbojet. Like I said, I'm on the 9:30 ferry. It's 9 o'clock now. That's plenty of time. So once I go through, I should hopefully be allocated my seat, and I'm going to request a window seat. I guess this is going to be immigration over by here because I need to show my passport to go to Macau. Okay, the immigration's cleared. I'm now going to try and find my ferry. So the security guy just told me to come to gate 5, which is this one here. We're just waiting in the queue, and I guess that's going to be our boat over by there. So this is the terminal building. There's a convenience store there if you need to get yourself a quick drink or a snack. Don't think there's anything else in here, but you're literally only going to be in here a few minutes while you're waiting to board your ferry. Apparently I've been standing in the standby queue when I should have just gone straight in. Oh well, I'm here now. Can I have a window seat, please?
How many tickets?
Just one. Thank you. Right, so that's a good learning point. If you see a queue going to the gate, don't stand in it because that's the standby queue. I didn't see that sign at all, but here is the boarding gate. Quite a few people in here. So I guess if I want to leave Macau early tonight rather than the 9 o'clock ferry, which I'm booked on, I guess I'm going to have to wait in a standby queue just like that one there over in Macau. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I originally planned to leave at 9, but I think it's going to be an extremely long day, pretty much 12 with walking up and down, probably about 13-hour day. And my feet are aching a bit now, if I'm honest, from the last few days of all the walking I've done. I've been averaging between 25 to 35,000 steps a day, so I'm not sure how many miles that is, but my feet are starting to suffer now. I guess we're going to be boarding anytime soon. It is 9:15. So once you get into the gate area, they give you a sticker telling you what seat you are. As you can see, I'm seat 21A. So there's 5 minutes to go and I think we're about to board. And already you can feel the sway of the boat. It's far more than I expected. Really just rocking from side to side. So I've made it onto the ferry, tripped up the step coming in, which was a bit embarrassing. Should pay more attention, I'm just looking straight ahead. Anyway, I'm in seat 21A. We've got a view out the window right there. The glass is a bit frosted though, so I don't know what the view's going to be like. I guess it's to stop the sun coming in, or it just hasn't been cleaned for a long time. The seats are like a standard airline. They're reasonably comfy. I'm only going to be here for an hour. Got a tray table if you want something to eat. It's got a place to put your magazines. Guess that's a safety card if we're going to sink. Gotta need to read that. I can't see any plugs or USB ports anywhere. I've had a little look. There's a life jacket under our seat just in case, but fingers crossed we don't need that. So it would have been nice to have a USB port on the, or a plug somewhere on the seats. But oh well, can't complain. Like I said, this cost about £17 each way, and I purchased it through the website called Klook. And as I mentioned, Klook is sponsoring this video, so if you click on the link down below in the description, click through my link and use my special promo code TRAVELSHORT, you'll get 5% off any purchase on the Klook website, which includes transportation, tours, hotels, anything, you name it. Klook are one of the biggest tour operators in the Asian market, but they also go throughout Europe and North America as well. I've been using Klook for all my excursions and attractions for my trip here in Hong Kong, and I would highly recommend them. Anyway, I guess we've got 2 minutes to go and we'll be departing shortly. So we've just departed the ferry terminal. The journey time should be roughly about an hour. So in just an hour's time, we should make it to Macau. And that will be the first time I've ever been there. So we're leaving Hong Kong. That looks like the last part of the island there. So we're just arriving into Macau now. Time is 10:33, so it's just over an hour to get here. Welcome to Macau. So I guess I'm going to need to go through immigration again here because there is a separate area. Unless that was all taken care of back in the terminal in Hong Kong. I'm not sure yet, but we'll find out. There's our turbojet ferry that got us here. So there was a passport control. It's a really short process, just a few minutes. They look at your passport, issue you with a, I guess, temporary immigration visa. And now I'm through into the main section of the building here. So the plan is to get a free courtesy shuttle bus to one of the hotels. Because I want to stay in the Old Town area, I'm going to get one to the Grand Lisboa. And from there, I'm going to walk around the Old Town area first, looking at the Senado Square, ruins of St. Paul, etc. And also when you first go out, there's a load of people just swarming onto you, asking you to take their tours, their taxis, etc. When I came through that door there, all these people, well, you can't really see them from here, but there's a load of guys there with clipboards trying to get you to go on their tours. The one that was following me here, he wanted me to go on a 2-hour taxi drive. I don't want to go on a 2-hour taxi drive. This looks like the way to the buses. Like I was saying, all the major hotels and casinos offer free courtesy shuttle buses to their establishments. They do that to encourage you to actually go into the casinos or their restaurants and spend money. I will go into some casinos just to have a look around, but I'm mainly here to see the sights. So the bus that I'm going to get on is going to be to the Grand Lisboa Hotel and Casino. That's a really iconic structure here, and it's in the Old Town as well. It looks like these buses down here are just the ones that you actually pay for to go around the city. Apparently, I go on the walkway just above me here, and that's where the hotel buses are located. So you can see where all the free courtesy buses are here. So you've got MGM, you've got the Galaxy, you've got the Grand Lisboa, you've got Grandview Hotel, you've got the Parisian, the Venetian, the Londoner, the Sands, and the Wynn, and City of Dreams and Studio City. They're all upstairs here. Actually, I know I said I was going to go to the Grand Lisboa, but I might actually go to the Wynn instead, because that is on my list of places to go today. The reason I want to go to the Wynn is they've got a cable car that goes over their little lake. It's free of charge, and I should be able to get a pretty good view from there. So this is the walkway that takes you to the courtesy shuttle buses. You can see there's signs everywhere. So I guess whatever's there first, either the Grand Lisboa or the Wynn, I'll get on that bus. But everywhere along this tunnel that I'm walking through now, well, I say tunnel, it's an overground walkway, it's just shielded probably from the sun. All the way along are these just adverts for the casinos, telling you where the free buses are. I'm not sure how long the walkway is, but it's not too bad. It's not, because there's not direct sunlight, because of these shields for each side, it's not that warm in here, which is good. I tell you what, it's a fair old walk to get to these free courtesy shuttle buses. I'm thinking that's probably them down there. So I guess just down these steps, go over there and pick up the buses from down there. Yeah, all the signs pointing down here. Now let's find our bus, shall we? You can see every hotel has got their own branded buses. Got myself the front seat, so hopefully a good view out the window. So Macau's actually got its own currency called the Macanese patakas. It's pegged against the Hong Kong dollar on a one-to-one basis, so you don't actually need to get any patakas to come to Macau. I haven't done that. I'm just going to spend my Hong Kong dollars while I'm here. But if you do spend it in your change, you will get Macanese patakas. See what those here? Macanese patakas. My plan for today is to first explore the Old Town area. So I'm going to the Wynn first, obviously, because I'm on their shuttle bus. So I'm going to go on their cable car around the lake. Then I'm going to go to the Grand Lisboa, which is one of the original casino hotels here. It's a very iconic structure. In fact, I think it might be one of the symbols of Macau itself. I'm then going to walk over to the Old Town, go to Senado Square, visit a fort. There's a Macau museum. I think the fort's called Monte Fort, so it's got some old cannons there. Then I'm going to head over to the ruins of St. Paul, which is an old church which collapsed during a fire, and all that remains is the front facade, or it might actually be the back facade of the original church. I'm going to try and experience some traditional Macanese food. They're very famous for their pork chop bun and egg tarts. And if I'm feeling very daring, I'm probably going to get some beef offal soup. But I'm not sure about that yet. I've got to wait and see how I feel. So here's one. We're getting into the hotel area now by the look of it. So I've arrived at the Wynn Macau. Let's go for a walk around, shall we? And take a look around. So we're at the entrance to the Wynn. Let's go in, shall we? Okay, so there's absolutely no filming allowed in the casinos, which I knew that already. But I needed to walk through the casino to come to this area here, so the security guard just politely told me not to film, which is fair enough. So we've got a map here. So where are we? Is there a sign saying we're here? I'm going to assume it's that spot there. And I'm going to want to go all the way over to this lake here. So I guess I'm going to go there, through there, into the rotunda, and then go that way. So I've just walked through the casino area, which is that bit over there. This is the rotunda area. Look at that ceiling there. And I guess, what's this? Map of some kind, maybe? So there's lots of stores around here as well, where I'm going to head toward the restaurants and the Wynn lobby. I'm assuming that's where you get to the lake So you've got high-end stores each side, walking down these corridors. So Saint Laurent there, Hublot watches. Ahead of me I can see Gucci and Versace, and an old-fashioned Porsche there. Let's keep walking and finding these cable cars, shall we? Tiffany's, we've got Dior, see Louis Vuitton there. I once had a Cartier watch. I bought it from a beach in Bali for $10 US. It was obviously legit. There's another map. So I'm guessing we're there with the flashing lights. I think I'm just going to go outside to get my bearings. It looks like okay, so the lake is over by there. So I just need to find the loading station. Okay, you can see the Grand Lisboa over there. So that's where I'll be heading to next. Okay. I'm just wondering if there's two Wynn casinos here in Macau, because this is the lake where I can't see any cable cars. I'm just going to sit down and have a look at my phone for a minute. Maybe I'm at the wrong Wynn. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to be by here anyway because I wanted to go to the Grand Lisboa, which is just over there. But I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to take a little breath, sit down and check my maps. Well, I'm right. These two Wynn hotels and casinos here in Macau. And which one do you think I went to? That's right, the wrong one. So the one I want to go to is called the Wynn Palace, and that's in the same areas where all the other casinos are that I'm going to go to this afternoon. Oh well, I wanted to come here anyway to the Grand Lisboa, which is just behind me. So I'm going to walk over there now, take a look around in that place, and then walk over to the old historic Old Town area. So I'm just going to start walking over to the Grand Lisboa now. Such an iconic building, it's easy to spot. I bet anywhere in this area you'll see it, so you know just to head towards it if you want to go there. And then from there I'm going to head towards the Senato Square. It's an old historic kind of Portuguese inspired square. Lots of European architecture everywhere around there, because as I mentioned earlier, Macau used to be a Portuguese colony, so there's a big influence of European architecture here, especially Portuguese architecture. And you can see the Sky Tower in the distance over there. I do have plans to go there later, but if I'm short for time I might not. Just depends. I've arrived at the Grand Lisboa. It's such an impressive building. Like, the architecture is stunning on it. Just look at that. And it's an amazing gold colour as well, really reflecting in the sunlight. So I don't really want to walk all the way around the Grand Lisboa. I'm just using it as a marker for where I wanted to start my trip off today. So looking at Google Maps, I've just got to keep following this road all the way down for 650 meters. So that'll take about a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes to do that. And then I will be at Senato Square. I'm trying to find shaded places wherever I can because the sun is really strong today. According to my phone, it's 30 degrees, which I know that's not majorly hot, but for me, who's just come from winter in the UK, that is pretty warm. And it's also really humid as well. Almost every shop on this walk to Senato Square are jewellery stores. I didn't think so many people would want to buy jewellery. And here we are at Senato Square. You can see the Portuguese-inspired architecture behind me. Got the obligatory water fountain here. Here's a better look at the area. Just look at the flooring as well. It almost looks like a zebra going all the way down there. So this building here is known as the IAM building, which used to be the offices of the Municipal Council and the Macau government. So I've just gone for a quick walk around the inside of this church and I can't find the name of it anywhere. There's no signs on the outside. Oh, is that it? Oh no, that might be the street name. Lago de San Domingo. Ah, here we go. Is it? Oh no, just saying Central Historic District of Macau. So if any of you were watching and you know the name of this church, please leave a comment down below. It'd be interesting to know what it's called. Anyway, I'm going to keep heading this way to the ruins of St. Paul. Got my first free sample of some pork jerky. As you'd expect, it's pork jerky. What I am looking for now, before I get to the ruins, is somewhere to grab a drink. I'm getting pretty thirsty. It's really hot. So let's have a look around. There's got to be somewhere to get a drink in all these stores everywhere. I'm expecting when I do get to the ruins of St. Paul that it's going to be absolutely packed with tourists. It's the #1 activity to do when you come to Macau is have your picture taken in front of the ruins of St. Paul. Yeah, okay. Thank you. My second jerky. Don't know if this is beef or pork. I think that one's a spicy beef. Really coming to all these jerky shops now, they're everywhere. And here we go, ruins of St. Paul's dead ahead. So here we are, we've made it to the ruins of St. Paul, the main tourist attraction of Macau. I'm actually surprised about the lack of tourists that are here. I know it looks like there's a load of people here, but for all the videos I've been watching online in the run-up to this trip, there's almost been hundreds and hundreds of people all lining up these steps, all fighting for a position to get the best photograph. I don't know if it's because I'm here reasonably early, it's just after midday, but it's quite empty to what I was expecting. I think I'm going to climb up to the top and explore. And this is where it's getting a bit busier, everybody coming to the top of the steps for their photographs. I think I'm going to get one from by here. So here I am at the ruins of St. Paul. You can see the facade behind me, that's all that's left of the building. Somebody's even bringing their selfie drones up here. So this is the back portion of what used to be the church before it got destroyed. If this is the back, just imagine how grand the front looked like. So there's loads of people in this whole area now. It's starting to get pretty busy now. Everybody's taking their selfies in front of the facade. I've done that as well. But it's pretty grand. You've got sculptures going all the way across. That one looks like the Pope, to be honest. Maybe the Virgin Mary at the top. And all these little alcoves with structures all the way around. Anyway, I'm going to move from here now. I'm going to go through the front door and have a look what's behind. So that's what the back of the facade looks like. Not quite as grand as the front. Still pretty impressive though, and obviously these metal structures here are a support to stop it collapsing. Okay, let's have a look what's underneath these glass panels. So I'm guessing that they're the original parts of the wall maybe, but no, we're actually inside. And I think that's Monte Fort up there, which is where we'll be going next. Now if you want to find out more information, just scan the QR code on the screen now. So looking at this, it's saying ruins of St. Paul's through time. To be honest, it looks the same now as it did in 1875. Even 1834 looks very, very similar. So I guess this is what it looked like back in 1692. So I'm assuming I'm in this section here. Okay, there's an indoor section by here, so I'm just going to take a look what that's about. I'd imagine it's the history of the church. You know, it's lovely and cool in here as well. It's very well air conditioned. So I guess these are some of the remains of the old building here, all this blockwork. look down below. It's glass floor. I'm blinded by the sunlight now come out of there. I can hardly see. Oh, because it's quite dark down there and it's very bright and sunny up here. Okay, so I think I've finished here now. Next stop, Montefort, which is just over by there. But again, I need to try and find a drink. So I've just got myself a Coke from this shop here, right underneath St. Paul's Ruin, over there. So this came to 10 Macanese patakas, so I just paid with 10 Hong Kong dollars, which is just over £1. So I got myself a pork chop bun, which is one of those traditional kind of tourist things you've got to buy when you're here in Macau. This one's a bit strange one though. It's also got an omelette on the top of it. I don't know if you can see that. Tell you what, I'll get the camera and show you. This is the pork chop bun. So it's a pork chop, which includes the bone and an omelette. Okay, so I'm going to tuck in, see what it's like. Oh, it comes with some disposable gloves, so that's quite handy. It means I won't have to go and wash my hands afterwards. I've already just cleaned them with hand sanitizer. But, okay, get these gloves on, shall we? So, gloves are a bit small, or maybe just a bit tight because it's so hot. I don't think that's worked very well. I've tore them apart. I think a combination of sweaty hands and the heat and the humidity in here. Can't even get the gloves on my fingers. My hands are too sticky. There we go. This one looks a little bit better. Let's try this thing, shall we? In fact, I'll hold her up so you guys can see it. So, omelette, pork chop, there. Can you see that? Okay. Omelette's hanging out. God, I'm making a right mess of this even before I start. Let's try this thing, shall we? Right into the bone. Like that's all bone. Okay, I think it's got barbecue sauce on it. Oh, it's marinated in barbecue sauce. Tastes okay though. I actually make pork chop buns at home after doing some research for this trip. And I found out, oh, everyone has pork chop buns here in Macau. I started making pork chop baps back home. Make sure I take the bone out first though. I never thought about making it with an omelette on top though. But I suppose that's kind of breakfast food, pork and eggs and a bap, maybe. It was freshly cooked as well. So I got it just from a stand right next to the ruins of St. Paul. It cost 50 Macanese pataka, and I paid with 50 Hong Kong dollars. So that's about £5.50-ish in UK money. The bun that it's on, it tastes a bit sugary. Like it's a very sweet bun. And actually now I'm eating it, so the edges of the pork chop look really big. But then when you look at what's left of the inside, the inside bit is really hammered thin by the look of it. I don't know if that's coming up on the camera. Actually overpowered by the taste of the egg. It is really hot today. I did try filming the stall that I got this from, but my camera that I'm filming on now actually overheated. So I put it in my pocket next to the bottle of Coke I just bought, because the bottle of Coke was still freezing cold. Luckily that cooled the camera down so I'm able to film this. Another big bone now. Comes to that bit last. The last bit of the pork now. And that's it. Pork chop bun eaten. I take these gloves off. Wipe down my hand with some wet wipes. With one of those gloves had ripped apart, so it's still over my fingers. That's it, pork chop done. So my camera's overheated again, so I switched over to the GoPro. But what I'm going to do now is go back up the steps again and head over to Montefort, which is just the other side there. And I've got to find a bin to put all this rubbish in. One thing I haven't really seen much around here, where in Hong Kong they're everywhere bins, but here I can't see any. But there's got to be somewhere in such a tourist spot like that. Ah, yes, I can see some right in front. So this is where I got the pork chop bun from. You can see it on the menu there for 50 Macanese patakas. I had to wait about 5 minutes, but at least it meant they cooked it fresh for me. If I'm honest, I don't really recommend it. Probably in a different spot it might be a lot better, because you are literally in the main tourist hub of the whole of Macau at the moment. Anyway, let's walk back up the stairs So we're going to walk back up the steps. Still surprisingly not that many people here, if I'm honest. I was expecting so much more people here. But I was surprised that my camera is overheating. Well, not really, because it is over 30 degrees now. And I have been using it a lot since I arrived here. At the top of the steps. Now, I'm going to head over there. And there we go. Last look at the ruins of St. Paul's before we go up. Climb all those steps up to the Fort of Monte, or Monte Fort. Finally going to leave this area now and all the Instagrammers and head up here. Yeah, it looks like there's a pretty good view of the ruins as well from up here once the trees go. I almost didn't bring the GoPro today because I'm trying to pack as light as possible. But I'm so glad I did now that my other camera's overheated, which is probably cooled down a bit now. But if that continues to happen all day, I'm not exactly going to be filming a lot for you guys to watch. I think it'd be a pretty boring video of me just coming here on the boat, eating a pork chop bun, and then going home on the boat later. There's more steps, which on a hot day like today, is pretty difficult to do. Breaking out quite a bit of a sweat now, to be honest. Like there's the fort up at the top of the hill. It's not so much the steps and the exercise that's getting to me, it's the heat, if I'm honest. It's really hot to be doing any sort of things that exerts energy. Like I drank that Coke down in pretty much 2 goes. I think when I finish here I'm going to get another drink from somewhere. Yeah, I can see my first cannon ahead. Some information about the fort here. So it was built by Jesuits from 1617 to 1626. It was the principal military defence structure. It successfully held off against the Dutch invasion in Macau in 1622, even though it wasn't finished yet. Okay, let's go inside, shall we? What I think I'd do is do a complete loop of the top of this fort, go all the way around and get a good view of everything in the surrounding areas. You can see all the cannons on this wall here. So this one is aimed directly at the Grand Lisboa Hotel. Hopefully it's not loaded. So I think this fort has definitely got some against the Grand Lisboa. Every single cannon's pointing towards the building. I suppose they're going this way because past those buildings, which wouldn't have been here back in the 1620s, that would have looked straight out to the ocean. And I don't know if this land is reclaimed either, if it's new land or if it's always been there. But yeah, you would have seen the enemy ships coming from that direction here, and they'd just be sitting ducks against these things here. So it looks like they're doing it from all angles. These ones are going in that direction as well. Gotta be careful because you're going to hit that side of the rampart. So you probably turn it just slightly in that direction. Otherwise there'll be friendly fire going on. So it looks like these cannons were manufactured in 1860, judging by the date on the stand. And this is cannon number 183, unless that means it's a 183 pound gun. Fuse would have gone in there. BP & Co with the manufacturers. Really solid. Again, aiming at the Grand Lisboa, with a nice breeze by here as well. So one of the good things about coming to Monte Fort is it's free of charge. There's no entry fee. I just walked up the hill, walked up the stairs, and here I am at the top, admiring the cannons and just walking around in a nice free of charging attraction. I did notice there's a sign as well for down below here is the Macau Museum. So I'm going to go there as well. Once I finish at the top here, I'm just going to go one loop, like I said, all the way around. Then I'm going to head down again and go to the museum. I'm starting to think I should have invested in a little umbrella. Like you see all the locals walking around with umbrellas above their heads. And it's not due to the rain like it would be back home, but it's due to the sun. So some protection from the sun would be pretty nice at the moment. And from this side you can got a view of the ruins of St. Paul past those trees. Now here shows, wow, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but there's a load of dragonflies everywhere swarming around. Probably doesn't show them on this camera, to be honest, but there you go. But you've got a great view of here of all the old buildings lying in here against that river there. I'm going to assume it's a river. Not sure what direction the Kotay Strip is in. I'm assuming it might be that way. Like, there isn't any Karens this side now, but I'm assuming they must have been at some point, because obviously you're going to defend yourself from the river over there as well. If somebody sneaks around here, heads up that river, you could definitely need cannons here. Let's keep walking, shall we? Imagine at one point there was a really big gun on top of this. And then you got a perfect view of everything coming up the river in this direction. So hot. I think that's going to be the theme of me today, just saying how hot it is. And this is November as well. Like when I left home in the UK just last week, it was raining, it was freezing cold. This is like the middle of our summer. Oh, look at all these old buildings here, but apartment buildings. Oh, don't get too close to the edge. There's no railing or anything. Look at that, like a 1 foot high wall. That's it. So that's where everybody lives down there by the look of it. You don't even have to pay to use these. Okay, there's a building on the top of here. So let's see what's inside that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be some air conditioning in there. This is the Museum of Macau as well. So maybe escalator. So if you go to the Museum of Macau, which is down below here, maybe you can just go on the escalator all the way up to the fort. So it looks like if you go to the Museum of Macau first, which is down at the bottom of the fort, you could come up these escalators and go to the top, and that would save walking up all those steps. Okay, it looks like it costs to go to the Museum of Macau. Well, let's have a look how much it is, shall we? So standard ticket is 15 Maccabees Patakas. So that's only about £1.60, so I think I'm going to go in there. Okay, doesn't look like I'm going to the Museum of Macau. They only accept Maccabees Patakas as a form of entry. They don't accept Hong Kong dollars, credit cards or anything else. They did accept Alipay, which I do have on my phone. Ooh, I better not show you that, just in case you can take money out of my account. But I do have Alipay set up on my phone because I've got it ready for when I go to China early next year. I tried to use it though, but it was refused, so I'm not sure if Alipay is set up correctly or I can't use the Chinese Alipay here in Hong Kong. That's something that's a bit worrying for when I go to China next year, because this is how I'm going to get around China, by using Alipay and WeChat Pay. Okay, so I think I've finished now in this area. I'm going to look to go to the Kotay Strip somehow. So I might either get a taxi, or I might go back on one of the hotel buses to the ferry terminal and get the Venetian bus from the ferry terminal back over to the Venetian. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to start walking down the street and see what happens. That is a shame though, because it would be nice to just have a look around the Macau Museum just to see the history of the island. Back out to the heat. If you do come to the fort, I do recommend coming to the museum first, go up the escalators right to the top, and then you don't have to climb up that hill and all the steps. Useful tip for you guys. Don't make the same mistake I did and become knackered by climbing up the top. What I might do is see if I can find another vendor that accepts Alipay and see if I can pay with it there. So I've got to get to the bottom of why I'm not able to use it. Because China's pretty much a cashless society now, I am a bit worried about how I'm going to get around the whole country when I go next year. So I've got 3 weeks going all the way from Beijing back down to Hong Kong. And along the way stopping in Xi'an, Shanghai, Chengdu, Guilin, Yangshuo, and then Hong Kong again. And because it's cashless, I'm going to be relying on Alipay and WeChat Pay. I've set them both up already. Fingers crossed I've set them up already. But if Alipay's not working here, Definitely got to find somewhere else to test my Alipay. Wow, this is quite an impressive old tree here. I'm just going to sit down for a couple of minutes underneath the shade of this old tree. It's quite impressive looking thing as well. It's just getting too warm. So I think we're going to just go back over there where I got that drink from earlier and get a bottle of water. Then head over to the Cotai Strip. Yeah, so it looks like these are part of the walls of the church. Look at that, there's the facade. Comes along here. So I don't know if this is the outer wall. It would have been in front of the fort. It was here. So I'm just walking behind the Church of St. Paul here. That's where the art gallery was, I'm assuming, when I was in there earlier. I've come this way so I don't have to walk down the steps. And then I'm just going to turn left here and go to that same place I bought a drink from earlier. Chap there grooming his dog with a set of clippers and a scissors. I suppose that's a bit of a strange place to do that. Why don't you do it in your garden? Or in your house? And I'll come to the ruins of St. Paul and trim your dog's fur. Got my bottle of water. Very appetizing, called Pocari Sweat. Or Pocari Sweat. But it's water, or hopefully it's water, not sweat. Drink this and I'm going to head towards the Grand Lisboa and get the courtesy shuttle bus to the ferry terminal, and then from the ferry terminal to the Venetian. Okay, Pocari Sweat isn't water, it tastes like a Gatorade. It's okay, I'm not sure exactly what the flavour is, but if you know what Gatorade is, basically the same stuff. Just see how busy these streets are. I know it'd be quicker to just get a taxi over to the Venetian, but if I've got an opportunity to save money wherever I go, I obviously take it. And just for a little bit of extra effort and a little bit more exercise, I'll save the cost of a taxi. It's probably only going to be an extra 20 minutes on top of my itinerary, so I'm not too fussed with that. So I'm going to be getting a Portuguese egg tart at some point, but I'm looking for a special place for that. It's a bakery called Stowe. I don't know if it's Lord Stowe or something like that. They have one outlet here in this area, and they also have one in the Venetian. I think I might just get it in Venetian, if I'm honest, unless I see it along the way, but I'm not exactly sure whereabouts it is, and I don't want to go out of my way to look for it. But just look at the amount of people here. Crazy. Getting really congested here. This is the cathedral. Actually, I just thought of something. If I return back to the original hotel I came to, the Wynn, there's a courtesy shuttle bus from there to the Wynn Palace, which is where I wanted to go originally. It's the Wynn Palace that's got the cable cars that go around the lake. So I will probably go there because it saves time going from Grand Lisboa back to the ferry terminal, and from the ferry terminal back to the Venetian, because the Wynn Palace is in the same region in the Cotai Strip. So, not going back to the Grand Lisboa, even though it's right in front of me here. I'm going to head back to the Wynn Hotel. They're called the Wynn Macau, and I want to go to the Wynn the Wynn Palace is the one I want to go to. You've got to be careful crossing these roads. It's crazy. At least they wait on the pedestrian crossings. These ones aren't, though. I didn't notice when I came from there, but the shape of the Wynn is exactly the same as the shape of the Wynn in Las Vegas in the States. So they must just be copying the same blueprints. Looks like it's a bit like the Bellagio in Vegas. They do a fountain show in front of the hotel on the lake. So I'm just going to follow the same route I did this morning, but just in reverse. So I'm going to walk past all these fancy shops like Louis Vuitton, Dior, Cartier, Tiffany, etc. then go through a couple of the casinos, which I'm not allowed to film in, and then end up around the back of the building, which is where the coach transfers are. Wynn Palace? Yeah. Thank you. Hello. So after walking through all the casinos, I made it onto the Wynn Palace shuttle bus. Just in time, looks like we're about to go. I've just been looking at the Wynn Palace's website to do with the cable cars, and it looks like, hold on, they don't actually open until 4 o'clock. It's 10 to 3 now, so I've got an hour and 10 minutes before it opens, so I might hop over to some of the other hotels first and then double back on myself and go to the Wynn Palace. They're all in the same area, so it won't be that much time out of my schedule. Probably get yet another drink, which will be my third one so far. Normally I travel with a bigger rucksack. Always carry bottles of water around with me. I'm trying to pack as light as possible on this trip. So I've just got a little satchel which just basically holds my camera equipment and my passport and a power bank, and that's it. Which means I've got to buy drinks every place I go. So we're just driving over the river. Let's see, I'm not sure exactly where it is. Maybe an estuary of some kind. To go from the old town area, which is behind me, to the new Cotai Strip, which is ahead, where all the new casinos are. And here we are at the Wynn Palace. You see the cable cars going around there. Maybe their website isn't very up to date because it said the cable cars weren't going to start until 4 o'clock, but they're obviously running now. So unless they're just running for show and you can't actually go on them. So I'll head there first, actually, before I go to the other hotels. Thank you. Okay, so I just want to walk straight through the hotel to the other side where there are cable cars. I'll tell you what, rather than walking through the casinos, let's walk through the shopping areas. Again, they're pretty much similar to the previous Wynn. And just like the other hotels, these places have got sports cars as well. The Lamborghini there by the look of it. Like, I'll be perfectly honest with you, fancy cars really don't do anything for me. I much prefer just experiences and possessions. And my car, it's a Peugeot, serves its purpose. Just a nice big car, it's got a big boot, so there's a lot of stuff in there. Like, I've never seen a fascination with fancy sports cars, if I'm honest. It's something that's never really appealed to me. Even if I'd won the lottery, I'd never won a Ferrari or a Porsche or anything like that. Probably the best I'll get would be a movie car, something like a DeLorean or Dukes of Hazzard General Lee or something like that. But these kind of things, I know people go nuts over them, but to me, they just look really uncomfortable to drive. You're like squashed in a little small cockpit area. Nah, doesn't do anything at all. Sorry, wrong exit. Wrong exit. We got distracted talking about cars. So let's keep going in this direction, see what we get to. So there we go, Skycab. So let's head towards the sign. The website was right, the Skycab is open at 4 o'clock. So let's walk over to the other hotel, shall we? According to Google Maps, it's going to take over half an hour, but it's going around some really far away roads to get there, so it must be thinking I can only walk on the road. But I'm actually going to walk through a number of hotels and I should get there in a few minutes. I'm going to walk straight through the MGM, which is right ahead of us. Then through there I go through the Parisian, and then we should be in that area where the Venetian, the Parisian and the Londoner all in the same area. I've just got to walk through the MGM first. Whoa, that sun's bright. So you can see that the cable cars are actually working, so they are continuously running around the lake. It's just they mustn't be open for people yet. So maybe they just don't get the staff until 4 o'clock. But if they're running, you might as well go on them. So it looks like there's another entrance to the cable cars down on the ground floor here as well. So when I say ground floor, I mean the outside of the casino. So I might just walk over there just in case they're not open in the hotel itself, but it might be open by here. You never know. Give it a go. And then all I've got to do when I finish here is cross the road on that walkway that goes above the road there and head through the MGM Grand here. And in fact, over there, just behind that post, you can see that L, so that's the Londoner. So that's one of the main hotels, obviously themed on London, I guess, back in the UK. So it's the Londoner there, the Parisian should be there, and the Venetian should be there, which are the three main ones I want to kind of go and see. Okay, let's keep walking along here, this path. So I don't know if this music plays here normally all the time anyway, or if it's just for the fountain show, because you can see behind me, fountains are going off. So maybe just like the Wynn in the other location, they do a fountain show to music as well every few minutes. So these fountains are really going for it to this country music. So there's certainly a group of people waiting outside here, but no, it's the same here. Look, it's closed until 4 o'clock. So that's still 40 minutes away. So I guess, are these people actually queuing up now then? To go at 4. So these people are going to be waiting here for 40 minutes to get on the cable car. I don't see the point in that, unless they know something I don't know. All right, let's go over this walkway and walk through the MGM Grand, shall we? Okay, I'll be back here later after I finish in all the other hotels. Okay, I think this is a good spot to stop this video here. I filmed so much stuff while I was in Macau, I decided to split this video into 2 parts. So I've hoped you've enjoyed the first part. Stay tuned for part 2 where I'll explore the Cotai Strip, visit the Londoner, the Venetian and the Parisian, make my way up to the top of the Eiffel Tower, become immersed in an interactive art exhibit called teamLab Supernature, and even go on the world's first figure-8 Ferris wheel. All before heading back to Hong Kong on the Turbojet ferry. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, it's really appreciated. If you're new here, my name's Mark and I make travel and theme park videos from around the world. And if you've enjoyed what you see, please think about liking, subscribing and hitting that notification bell button. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Next time on Travel Shorts Hong Kong.